Hi, pleasure to be here. My name is Tasha. I am the founder of Black Wall Street London. Black Wall Street London is an Afro-Centric marketplace, exhibition and business development hub for Black entrepreneurs. However, whilst we shine a light on Black entrepreneurs and Black-owned businesses, we definitely promote an all-inclusive community audience. Reason being is because my family personally are all colours of the rainbow and everything in between. So I have black and white nieces and nephews, and I personally refuse to sit on any fence. And that's where I'm coming from. So where did we start? That's interesting. So I also have a company called Cornucopia Emporium, whereby I specialise in luxury hand-poured scented candles. And I've been coming from a car boot sale marketplace background. So, you know, putting on that smile, waiting for the next sale type thing. And while I was doing this and transitioning from car boot sales and marketplaces, which I absolutely love, and if I had the ability now, I'd still be doing that as well. And I, you know, my brand was expanding, and I was moving on to trade shows and expo shows. And while I'm doing this, with my candles, I'm thinking, wow, this could be amazing if I could bring it, you know, to a wider audience. And I had a assisted grant from Devon County Council, and that allowed me to go and exhibit at the UK Black Business Show at the QE2 Centre. That was like a year ago plus now. And I was there, and we as Black people, we turn up in excellence, you know, and I was overwhelmed at how many people there were. But at the same time, it was a double-edged sword because it was really expensive to get in. And as a startup business with my candles, Cornucopia Emporium, there's no way I would have had a foot in the door, you know, if I didn't have the assistance grant. So I'm thinking to myself, still brainstorming, you know, Black Wall Street London, how can I bring this to pavement level? This is so beneficial to startup companies just like myself. But I know, being one of those, that I would never be able to do this without a helping hand. That's when the brainstorming kind of kicked off. Obviously, it's a no-brainer. There was a lot of stuff going around at the time, you know, George Floyd, Black Lives Matter. And again, you know, I try not to get caught up in it all, but it was such good timing. You know, I said to myself, if I don't do this now, somebody else is going to jump in and do this. And so I rode that wave, basically. And I started off Black Wall Street London in a place called The Factory in Dalston. A Greek family called Mehmed, and it was absolutely amazing. There was just 20 exhibitors, myself being one included, and you know, Black Wall Street London, we coincide with Black Pound Day, and the method behind the madness there is that, you know, on Black Pound Day, in honour of Black Pound Day, people aren't just coming to browse, they're coming to shop and support. And so again, I rode that wave. And, you know, we had exhibitors that sold out and exhibitors that were like, this is amazing, you know. And I was still scratching my head thinking, yeah, okay, this is a great vision, but it's not quite my entire vision. But that was the starting point. And from 1 month in September to the next, we quadrupled in size. And that's when I kind of knew, you know, it was that light bulb moment. And I knew that, yeah, I was onto doing the right thing here. So I said to myself, okay, so I'm actually coming from a performance background. I used to live in Mexico for 10 years where I was a vocalist, kind of had my first entertainment agency, kind of built that up there. However, it's really hard to explain because although I'm coming from a performance background, I don't like being in the spotlight. I like doing work behind the scenes, so to speak. But coming from that background, I said, right, I don't just want to offer a retail marketplace exhibition type thing because that's really boring. So what else can I do to bring some more stuff to the plate? And I thought, right, rather than just do the retail and marketplace, I'm going to do additional services that are beneficial to the community. So we're talking about key guest note speakers, we're talking about spoken word poetry, live performances from community projects. So we kind of collab with dance crews and all types of live performances like that. How can I amalgamate that into the retail and marketplace? Well, we'll put on fashion shows and we'll showcase the fashion house brands that we're exhibiting. So it all kind of interconnects. Okay, and coming away from that, that's the flash and the lights and the hoo-ha. What else can I do? So let's talk about counselling services. Let's talk about mentoring services, you know, mental health services, stuff that's really beneficial to people on ground level. How can I do that? Well, I'm a big advocate for collaboration. So again, it was a no-brainer. I was like, right, I'm just going to scream from the rooftops. Collaboration is key to our success. We need to put away competition and ego, all jump in the melting pot together. And this way, through collaboration, we can offer a bigger platform to everybody. And that's pretty much how it started. And you know, that's where the brainchild came from. So it's really interesting to see in lockdown kind of came along. So we were about to do our third event, and we grew so much in size, you know, also classic cars. We have a huge following of classic cars. So it was like we really needed a big space. And we grew so much that we kind of moved to a warehouse. So we were about to put on the event in a 22,000 square foot warehouse, and represent everybody in excellence, you know, make it a community, because basically we're trying to spread brand awareness, knowledge, and the message of collaboration. And unfortunately we got locked down. And I was thinking in the interim, okay, so, you know, I've got all of these businesses, these are active businesses, you know, that actually have paid money to come along and exhibit at these events. And I knew I was on the right path, because I was like, okay, so let me give refunds back. And pretty much everybody was like, no, keep the money. We know when we come out again, this is going to be amazing. So let's just go with it. So on the interim, I'm thinking, so how can I support all of these businesses that are showing me support just consistently? And that's when the virtual market kind of came into play. And I always said to myself, right, my main focus are on these physical location events, because I truly believe that people just want to be out and about. And I'm such a dinosaur when it comes to tech. So I was quite reluctant to do this whole virtual online live show type thing. But I did. And we are now part 3 into our 24-hour live event showcase. And that kind of came around where I said, okay, so we've got 70 authentic businesses under our umbrella, and we've got some on the waiting list. So how do I fit all of these people in? I can't just do an hour show. I can't just do a 2-hour show. And my partner, JD, who is, I have to put my hands up and say, behind the scenes, he is just dropping these gems, you know, these bombs, you know, why don't you do this, Tash? You know, what about this? What about that? And we rarely kind of highlight the people who are in the background. So I have to give props to JD, Jonathan Davis, my partner, who kind of came up with the light bulb idea, well, why don't you just do 24 hours? And at that point, I was like, wanted to kill him, but I could see that it was like, yeah, and it wasn't to be the biggest, you know, live event that had happened. It was literally, how can I get everybody involved to shine? You know, so we said, all right, we're going to do 24 hours, showcase all of these businesses, 100 Black-owned businesses, and just see what happens. And it was absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. So we're 3 parts in now. I'm trying to lead by example, and practice what I preach. So from the first month of doing this completely alone, sitting there for 24 hours straight, just highlighting, showcasing Black-owned businesses, shining a light, promoting all inclusivity. I said, no, I can't do this myself, and people are going to get bored. So let's collab. So we are now collaborating with Black Business Recommendation, which is a Facebook group, business group, but they have a 10K following plus, and comedian Rudy Liquid. So we're all kind of offering up new elements and keeping it fresh. So that's what we're doing together. We also have a fundraising campaign called the Black Million Campaign, and I invented this some time ago, and it was basically because I was just coming across hurdles in regards to finding event space for the Black-owned business concept. And unfortunately, in regards to some organisations who are adverse to having that type of thing on, I think just having Black-owned in front of a event, some people think there's going to be a riot or crazy music or whatever. So I was just coming across hurdles after hurdles, and going into lockdown, again, I'm not about sitting in the funk of the problem. I'm more about trying to find a solution for it. So I'm scratching my head and I'm thinking, okay, how can we do this? So it just came to me, I need to become self-reliant. I need to be not depending on other people. I need to be not getting into the stories of whys and why nots, and just move forward. And how can I do that? And obviously living abroad for over a decade, there was no way I was going to get any financial assistance in regards to purchasing a building. So I thought, right, Tash, you've got to do this yourself. And that's where the Black Million came in. So fundraising campaign called the Black Million. Primarily it's to purchase our own premises for Black Wall Street, London, so that we can continue doing our good work and we can provide accessible and affordable workspace and business trading space for all of the businesses that we support. One thing that I must say as well that I'm really ready to move on with as well is I spoke a little bit about my family and my background and how we are all colours of the rainbow and everything in between. So I am a big advocate of collaboration and bridging gaps. So, you know, we kind of collaborate with organisations and events that have some substance, that are trying to, or have the same brand ethic, I guess is a good way to say it. For example, Kickoff at 3, Michael Wallace, and he recently came on one of our 24-hour live events, and I have to say that he's doing amazing things, trying to bridge the gap. You know, he's a Black police officer himself, so we don't need to go into all that, but you can imagine all of the type of experiences he's had. So how do we lead by example and show people that this is something that we can do? Well, we just collaborate. So we've been working with him. We have an amazing event coming up, and this is with a young band called Kick Pistol, and they are putting on an amazing event. It's called Unity Live Stream, and it's in conjunction with Kickoff at 3, Proud and Gifted. There's loads of partners, myself, obviously Black Wall Street London, Valerie Maxfield, Helen from Aphrodite Weddings. There's loads of us. We're just behind the scenes and really working to try and put on an event, and it's in memory of Stephen Lawrence. So it's Stephen Lawrence Day live stream, Unity live stream, Thursday, April 22nd, 6 to 11 p.m. And it's basically an evening of performances from a range of different backgrounds and in memory of Stephen Lawrence. So that's one example of how we can kind of collab and try and build and just bridge the gaps. Yeah, so that's about it really. Other collabs that we're interested in doing is actually working with the Met Police. I recently connected with Jason Hill, amazing guy. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to speak before anything kind of evolves, but it's all about making these strategic relationships behind the scenes. Right now, people are like, hey, we're on lockdown, you know, everything's on pause. Well, for myself and many of the people who I've spoken to, this is probably one of the busiest times that has ever been, because people are behind the scenes, working in the background, building and creating, like I said, these strategic relationships. And when we come out on the other side, for me, it's going to be really interesting to see who is still standing, you know, because these are the times right now when these relationships are just evolving. But as soon as we're allowed out to play, so to speak, I'm interested to see the evolution of all of the good work that's going on behind the scenes. So yeah, that's pretty much Black Wall Street London in a nutshell. So we collab, we, you know, scream from the rooftops, collaboration is key to our success. You know, our mantra is united we rise. And again, you've heard a little bit about me, so you can understand where I'm coming from. Yeah, that's about it really.